Hey, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a 3 looks 1 palette video using the Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the Dollhouse palette. I had a blast using this palette. I absolutely love it. Spoiler alert, I give my thoughts on it at the end of the video, although there's not a ton of thoughts, more it's just I really enjoyed this palette. This is Blend Bunny's more neutral leaning palette of the 3 that they have available right now, but as I will show in my looks, you can definitely get a ton of colorful looks and deep looks as well as neutral looks. I feel like this palette is super versatile. I don't have a ton to say other than let's just get into the looks. Hello and welcome to the first look using the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. I really want to focus on these like rosy tones in this row here. And maybe I'll kind of pull in some of the more colorful shimmers. I'm going to start using the shade Baby Doll, which is like a light mauve-y pink. I've primed my eyes with the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base and I have not set my lids. And I'm just going to take this shade and use this as my initial transition color. So I'm just running this through my crease, although it's quite light, so we'll see how much I can build it up. And now I'm going to take the shade Rouge, which is just the deeper mauve-y rosy shade. This brush looks dirty because it is not fully clean, but there's no extra shadow. It's just a little bit stained. And I'm just going to take this through my outer corner and my crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Plume, which is this beautiful dark burgundy. It's probably one of my favorite shades in this palette. I've actually reached for this shade quite a number of times, just like doing makeup on my own and on camera. So I'm just going to use this to deepen my outer corner and my crease. Okay, so I'm going to do a half cut crease and then I will be back. Okay, so my crease is cut. Now I'm going to take Rouge and just go over the front portion of this, but actually also I need to stamp this onto my lid. And then I'm going to go back in with Plume, the deepest shade, and intensify my outer corner again. It's gonna look bad before it looks good, so just keep that in mind. And also run this over the edge of my shadow as carefully as I can. And now I'm going to take the shade Imaginary, which is this purple, and put this on the middle of my lid. And then I'm going to take Glass Eyes, which is this blue, and put that on the front part. I said this before in my previous videos using Blend Bunny palettes, but I prefer this formula sprayed, like with a wet brush, as opposed to a glitter glue. I do think that this palette, the Dollhouse palette, is a little bit better in terms of their shimmer formula. That's just my personal opinion, based on my personal preference, but I will just spray them. So first I'm taking Imaginary, tapping out the concealer on my lid, and then putting this right in the center of my eye. And now I'm going to take Glass Eyes, which is the blue, and put that in the inner part of my lid. Wow, look at that. And then I'm going to go back and forth between Imaginary and Glass Eyes and just blend these shades together in my lid. I'm going to take Rouge and blend this into Imaginary and deepening up with Plume again. And then I'm going to take Baby Doll, which was that first shade that I used, and just take this around the edges to blend my shadows out one more time, make sure everything's nice and blended. I'm going to take Imaginary and Glass Eyes on my fingers and intensify these shades on my lid. Fingers, again, as I've mentioned before, I think are the best way to use these shimmers. Now I'm going to take Porcelain, which is this light beige here. I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone just right in the center here. And then to finish my top lid, I'm going to take Plume on a really small brush and just stamp this over the edge of my cut crease. I really find that doing this last just helps to make the shape a little bit cleaner. For my lower lash line, I'm going to keep it all the same. So I'm going to take Rouge and put this underneath my eyes and blend it out. Then I'm going to take Plume and deepen my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take Baby Doll and really use this to blend. For my inner corners, I'm going to take the shade Pretend, which is this light pink white shade. I'm gonna spray that as well and just plop her on in my inner corner. And then lastly, I'm gonna take the shade Stitched, which is this matte black, and use this to deepen my outer corners. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face and then be back to conclude. Okay, and this is the finished look. On my lips, I have the NYX lip liner, Suede Matte Lip Liner in Brooklyn Thorn, and the KVD Beauty Studded Kiss Lipstick in the shade Coven. I don't know if they have this anymore. My friend actually bought this for me. I don't wear it often because the color is a lot, but I thought that I don't know, goes kind of well. So yeah, this is the finished look. Obviously very colorful. I just wanted to see kind of like where I could take it, and I really wanted to play with these like mauvey rosy tones, and I just feel like the blue and the purple really work well with them. And that's all I have to say. Okay, let's get into the second look. Okay, hello. Welcome to the second look using the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. I'm gonna use these greens today, right on the end here. I'm really excited about them. I'm first going to start with the shade Madame, which is this beautiful dark mossy green. And I'm gonna do a halo eye. So I'm going to stamp this, get rid of this hair that's by my eye, and stamp this on my inner and outer corners and connect it through my crease as well. This is a super dark shade. It's like almost like charcoal off black. I'm not gonna lie to you, that honestly is just like a really dark, cool toned brown. I think I thought it was more green because it looks like green, it's in the green row, but I definitely think that's pretty much just like a super cool tone, like gray brown, which isn't bad, but it just deceived my eyes a little bit. So now I'm gonna take the shade Figure, which is this is a green for sure. This is like a lighter mossy green, and I'm just going to blend the edges out with this shade. This formula truly does blend out beautifully, like this dark brown. Really, really beautifully blended. The name of this brand is appropriate. What am I gonna do? I guess just to keep going with this row, I'm gonna take the shade Porcelain. Yeah, I'm gonna take the shade Porcelain. Just on a little blending brush, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and just blend very lightly along the edges. I don't really wanna like cover anything up with this. I'm just trying to like, you know, help the edges blend a little tiny bit more. I might go back in with I'm actually going to take like a kind of a bigger brush and just do a little bit of a dab with Figure and then just diffuse the edges. So we're kind of getting the color but also diffusing and having the blending it into the Porcelain shade. Yeah, okay. And I can always go back in as well later on. So for the center of my eye, I'm not going to cut my crease or anything, but I'm going to take the shade Pin Curls. I guess I'm really sticking to this row, but I don't know. This grungy green theme really calls to me. Oh, and yeah, okay. And again, I'm not going to do or to use glitter glue. I'm just going to wet my brush. And I'm just going to put this in the center of my lid. Oh wow, that's super foiled. This is a super gorgeous gold shade. It applied super easily actually, and I'm really vibing with the non-structured halo eye now, which I never thought I would ever say. I think though that I'm going to now take the shade, I never know if this is Chantilly or Chantilly, so one of the two, and I'm just going to pick this up, give my brush a little spray again as well, and then just put this on the edges of the shade Pin Curls just to help blend it into the deeper shade a little bit. And I don't know, I thought it could blend together nicely. And then again, I'm just going to go back and forth between Pin Curls and Chantilly just so that it's nice and blended together. I'm gonna take a little bit of Figure, which was the, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go in with Madame, which was that grayish brown, and feather this into Chantilly. Then I'm gonna take a tiny bit of that, very lightly, go around the edge of the center. I'm gonna take that same like fluffy blending brush, but this time with the shade of Figure again, which is the green, and again just blend over the edges, so making sure that the green tone is still there. Okay, and then I'm gonna take Pin Curls and Chantilly on my fingers. Look at those shades, are you kidding me? Oh my god. And intensify these shades on my lid here. And then I'm going to take the shade Porcelain again, just on a tiny brush, and just use a little bit of this to highlight my brow bone. For my lower lash line, I'm going to take Madame and place this close to my lashes. And then I'm going to take Figure and blend this out. And then finally, I'm gonna take Pin Curls, which was the gold. I'm not gonna like, I'm just gonna pick it up on my pinky, and place this in the center of my lower lash line. Usually I put glitter glue down, and then I'm not bringing it down super far either. I'm just keeping it within the confines of where I blended my shadow. You really like that? Honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it where it is. Actually, no, that's a lie. Okay. And then finally, I'm gonna take the shade Stitched, which is this matte black, and put this on my inner and outer corner. Okay, so I just deepened my inner and outer corners with the black. Hopefully my camera didn't cut out. It might have though when I explained that. And I'm just gonna leave it here. I kind of like how grungy it is. I don't feel like I want to blend it anymore. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and do my hair and stuff, and then be back to conclude this look. Okay, and this is the finished look. It is everything I want. I love these tones. I think it looks beautiful. On my lips I have the, is this what it is? Yeah. On my lips I have the L'Oreal Paris Color Riche lip liner in the shade Matin Call, 114 Matin Call. If you have watched me for a long time, you know that this is an OG favorite of mine. It's a throwback for sure. I haven't used it in so long. And then I also used a little bit of Endless Cacao, of course, for Makeup Forever. And I used the Merit Signature Lip Lightweight Lipstick in the shade 1990. Merit sent this to me. This is the first time that I'm using it, and I do really like it. It's not as deep as I thought that it might be, because in the bullet it looks like it's gonna be like a pretty mid-toned, you know, neutral brown, but these lipsticks are quite sheer, so it doesn't look overly deep on me at all. I really like it. I probably wouldn't want any deeper shade in this type of formula, but this is fine for me. I'm wearing some Quo Beauty lashes that I will have listed down in the description box that are currently poking my eyeball. And yeah, I'm very excited to get into the third and final look using this palette. Okay, hello and welcome to the third and final look using the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. I'm gonna go really dark and smoky today. This is 100% inspired by Makeup Missa, who does like black smoky eyes all the time, and I just wanted to do it, and I thought using this palette would be a great option to do that. So I'm gonna start with the shade Attic, which I did use in my first impressions, but it's the perfect shade to use today, so I'm gonna use it still. And I'm going to run this through just my crease. And I'm gonna try to keep it rounded, not super wing it out. And I'm not gonna put it in my inner corner, I'm just putting it through my crease. Or my outer corner, rather. And I'm going to take the shade Silhouette, which is this dark brown, basically. And then I'm going to deepen my crease with this. Again, not taking it through my outer corner, just running it through my crease. And then finally, I'm gonna take the shade Stitched, just a small amount, and also run this through my crease, but just like at the bottom. I definitely don't want to blend it as high as I blended Attic and Silhouette, for sure. Now I'm going to take the shade Harlequin, which is this metallic black. I'm going to spray that like I have with all the other metallic shades and put this all over my lid. This is a beautiful sparkly black. It's so nice. Ooh, my eyelids are not even. Okay, and so I'm just gonna take that brush that I used, my like crease brush, my smaller crease brush. I took this black a little high, but that's okay. I'm just gonna use it to buff the edges of this black out so it blends into the crease. And then I'm gonna take Attic. Oh, why did I hold the brush up? And then I'm gonna take Attic again and gently blend over the edge of this. And then I'm gonna take Display, which is this light gray. Although I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it has kind of like a purpley undertone. And I'm going to run this over the edge of the shadow just to help blend. I feel like this is going to be a very important part just to help tone it down a little bit. And now I'm going to take Porcelain, which is this cream shade, and put this just on the arch of my brow bone. I desperately need to pluck my eyebrows. Holy shit. So now I'm going to work on my lower lash line. First, I'm going to take a black eyeliner. This is the Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen. This is not my favorite necessarily eyeliner for longevity, but it's really, really nice to like smoke out underneath your eyes because it's super creamy. So I'm pretty much just gonna put this in my waterline and then right at the edge, like right on my lower lash line as well. And then I'm going to take Stitched, which was the black, just a little bit, and just smoke this out. Just because I want to have like a really intense depth all around my eyes. And then I'm pretty much just going to go back in with each of the deeper shades. So first I'm going to take Silhouette and pretty much just blend directly over this black here. And then I'm going to take Attic and again blend the edges out. I want this to be blended. As much as I like the style of it, I'm not trying to look like Batman with his mask off, okay? That's definitely not the vibe. Although that may end up being the vibe because I've maybe gone too far. But anyway, we'll see. And now is going to be the most important step. I'm going to take Display and I'm really going to buff the edges of this out. So ideally you want it to look like, I feel like this eye. For me, not this eye, but that's okay. You win some, you lose some. It might look a little bit not even, but I can't bring myself to wreck this eye because that's exactly how I want it to look. This eye, I just took it down too far there, but we're just gonna roll with it, unfortunately. Now I'm gonna take Harlequin on my finger and intensify it on my lid. And I'm actually going to take that on the pencil brush that I used and I'm going to spray it and I'm going to place it right along my lower lash line and wrap it around. And now I'm going to take Lace, which is this sparkly white. I'm going to spray it. I'm just really debating whether or not I want this on my inner corner. You know what? I actually don't know if I do. I might just dust a little bit of Attic mixed with Display into my inner corner. So I feel like that's kind of the vibe. But what I actually am going to do is on an even smaller brush, so like this really small brush that I used to do my brow bone highlight, I'm going to take Lace again. I am going to spray that and I'm going to place that right in the center of my lid, just very concentrated, but like more precise, just to give a little like highlight, a little dimension right in the center of my lid, but I want it to be like intentional. All right, and I think I'm gonna leave it just here. I don't even think I'm going to do lashes. I think I'm just going to put like lots of mascara on. And then I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay, and this is the finished look. On my lips, oh, I put it away, shit. On my lips, I have the NYX lip liner in Espresso, the NYX lip liner, Suede Matte lip liner in Sandstorm, and the ColourPop creme lipstick in Butter. And I just have mascara on. I just use the Essence Lash Princess Volume Mascara, and yeah, everything else that's on my face will be listed in the description box below. So my palette is already filthy. That's the one drawback about having this palette shade, it's that it's just messy everywhere, and no matter how clean I try to be, I always get eyeshadow like all over my hands, all over my arms, all over my palettes, my desk. Like, I must be just exceptionally messy when it comes to eyeshadow, but I loved working with this palette. I like it just as much. Well, I think I may like the Surge palette just a little bit more, but I think that this is a great neutral-ish palette because you definitely, as I've showed in the 3 looks that I did today, you can go neutral, you can go colorful, you can go super bold and grungy, and I feel like you can get so many different looks out of this palette. And again, the mattes, chef's kiss, they're beautiful, they blend super, super well. The shimmers as well, I feel like, are improved over the shimmer formula in the Surge palette. I feel like they're easier to use, easier to pick up with a brush, easier to, you know, deposit on your eyes. They're sparkly, they're really beautiful. I feel like some shades are a little bit harder pressed or like a little bit more dense. They're still really beautiful though. Like these deeper shades down here are a little bit, yeah, just maybe a little bit harder pressed compared to some of these shades like Pin Curl, Chantilly, Little Sister even though I haven't used it on my eyes, but I've swatched it. They feel like more like just like creamy when you touch them. But overall, I feel like they still work really well. I use them with a wet brush, although I feel like this palette you might have an easier time using these shimmers with a glitter glue compared to the Surge palette shimmers, but I really, really love this palette. I feel like for me, I think the best way for me to use the mattes is to use like my mid-tone shade, then the deep shade, and then use one of the lighter shades to blend out, just because this top row of like blending shades right here are quite light, so they don't necessarily build up as like transition quote-unquote shades for me. They're more like true, just like blending the edge of my eyeshadow, whereas some of the lighter shades in the Surge palette I found were maybe a little bit just a hair, not even deeper, but like have more color to them almost. But I think this is a great palette if you tend to do more neutral looks, you want just a really easy, super effortless formula to use, but you also want to have some more fun options sometimes. Also, if you like colorful looks, you can still get color out of this. It's just not going to be like as colorful as like the other 2 palettes that Blend Bunny has. But I think that it's a great idea for them to have a neutral-ish palette in their collection, and I absolutely love this. I reach already for the deep shades in this palette just to deepen looks using other palettes that don't have depth. It has a black, it has just everything that I could ever want to create a look, and I am so, so happy. I can't wait to see what Blend Bunny does in the future. I am a stan of the brand now, and I just 10 out of 10. I love it. If you are in the market for a neutral palette that's interesting, it's like $45-ish, so it's a little bit pricey, but you again have a ton of shades and a ton of options. I think that this is a great option for you, and I believe it's limited. Nope, I believe it's permanent, so you don't have to like necessarily go. I just thought that I didn't press record. Anyway, so you can wait for a sale, or you don't have to like, you know, run out and buy it immediately. I always love that as well. And that is all I have to say. I upload 3, sometimes 4 videos a week if you want to continue to hang out with me. And is my mirror in the way? Oh my god, I'm so all over the place. Thank you so much for watching this video. I always appreciate it, and I would love to see you in my next one. Bye!